Hello, and welcome to Apple Blossom and You. I'm your host, Sarah, known as Apple Blossom SF on Ravelry and Instagram.
And I'm your co-host, Matt, known as Navy1990 on Ravelry and MFranklin1990 on Instagram.
Welcome to our returning friends, and if you're a new friend checking us out, I hope that you enjoy today's show.
Welcome back.
We will go ahead and say, why don't you grab a cuppa, like Denise from Knitting Den says, and join us for Around the Apple Orchard.
Been a busy week?
It has been. Well, I've had a kind of eventful, it's been eventful. I wouldn't say it was busy.
It was eventful.
It ended busy, but eventful is the more word, because I don't want to say busy. We always say busy.
Yeah.
And the beginning part of the week really wasn't busy. It was just, It was eventful.
We did have progress with the VA. Mm-hmm. My school finally submitted my classes to the VA to be certified. So, this is Monday or Tuesday. I got email after email from every class that the school turned into the VA. The VA would send me an email saying this class has been submitted for certification. So, we're a step closer.
Yes.
I got to get a hold of the VA in the next couple days, Monday or Tuesday, and see where they're at in the process of certification and all of that, so we can pay off this gigantic monkey that's on our back from the Fed loans. Mm-hmm. But we're closer. We're closer than we were when we podcasted last time.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Well, why don't we talk about what we're drinking?
I am drinking a wonderful blend known as chock full of nuts. That's all it is. It's coffee. A little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar.
And I am drinking Earl Grey tea. And we'll talk about our cups, because these are awesome. These are Fiesta Wear. This is a nice orange, and this is a deep purple. It's like an eggplant purple. It's not showing. It looks black on the camera.
There you go. There's it. Yeah,
and it still looks black.
It's almost black.
But it is a deep purple, I promise. These are new acquisitions as of yesterday. We went to the Salvation Army to look for stuff for mass performance. We wanted to look for a black jacket. Luckily, he was able to borrow one because we couldn't buy it. And so we were looking around and looking at stuff.
Well, it's not that we couldn't buy it. We didn't want to buy brand new.
We didn't want to buy brand new.
For me to use for 4 performances.
Just didn't seem great.
What's the point? I don't wear a suit, so...
And suit jackets are expensive.
Yeah. So, we'll go look at, we'll look at Goodwill and Salvation Army, those kind of places. Found one, but down along the bottom on the right-hand side, it was all ripped. So, fortunately, I'm able to borrow one from our pastor. Mm-hmm.
All we have to do is dry clean it before we return.
Yeah, he said, just be sure you dry clean it. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's easy to do. Yep. So we go to the Salvation Army, and we're just kind of looking around. Sarah and Maddie are looking at ball gowns for some reason.
Just to enjoy shopping.
And
we go over by the glassware, and I walked, and as soon as I got to the glassware section, I spotted these 2 cups. And I knew exactly what they were. And I never find bargains like this. Ever. ever find good stuff at a thrift store. Never happens. People tell me all the time how they find these wonderful finds in thrift stores and how much money they saved and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, that never happens to me. Well, I spot these from what felt like a mile away. And I knew from just looking at them that they were Fiesta ware. And I know that Fiesta ware is extremely collectible.
Yeah.
They had the cups. I didn't even look at the cup price. Our daughter Madison did. But I knew that it was going to be low enough that I was going to get a good deal no matter what. So I grabbed it, and Matt saw behind them that there was the orange one, because I saw the purple one. He saw the orange one, and I was like, I'm not a fan of orange, but it's a pretty orange. It's a pumpkin orange. So I like it, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm buying that one too. So we're working around, and I picked up a few other things. You'll get to see a little bit of it in a later segment. And we go up to check out, and the guy totaled up this one section of stuff, because they total the price per section. Like if you got so many shirts and there's so many prices, they total up all your shirts, and then they total up all your pants. And then enter the totals into the cash register. And it's an old-fashioned cash register. It's not a computer. So once you enter it in, it's entered in. Well, the total of our other stuff was $26. He, for whatever reason, put in 26 cents. And he looks at the cups and he goes, oh, that's all right. The cups are close to that price. And just let it be. And
I got the cups for 13 cents a piece.
I didn't even realize that that's what he had done. Luckily, Matt was paying attention. I wasn't. So I went to pay him, and I looked at the receipt, and I said, he didn't charge us for the cups. And Matt goes, yeah, he did. That's the 26 cents. I talked to a friend of mine who collects Fiesta ware. These cups are worth $5 to $10 a piece.
Yeah.
So, my big score of the day. And this purple cup is going to be my favorite winter cup, because you pour something hot in it, because it's a pottery cup. And it just holds the heat. So it's one of those cups where you can just hold your hands around it and get warm, which is why I'm doing this. Because it is a windy, rainy, blustery, gray, cold day for northeastern North Carolina. It's like 54 degrees outside, which is chilly for us.
Yeah, I woke up this morning, it was 46. It hasn't been that cold.
No.
In quite a while.
The heater actually came on.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm pouring another cup of tea. Because I want to keep my hands warm. So that was our great find.
But Sarah had some ups and downs this week.
I did, literally.
Some really good ups and a literal down.
I did.
So,
it was Wednesday morning. I got up and I was getting the puppies rounded up and letting them out. And Bailey is one of our biggest zoos. He's 16 pounds. Love him. He's a knucklehead. He's an instigator in our pack. And he also tends to go into what I lovingly refer to as bulldozer mode. Doesn't matter what is in front of him, he is charging straight through it and not letting it stop him. Well, Wednesday morning, as I'm carrying Doc down the stairs, Bailey was in bulldozer mode and bulldozed right through my leg. Enough to knock me off balance. And because we don't have a handrail on the side of the stairs, I had nothing to grab onto. And we took the handrail down because it was dilapidated and falling. It wasn't installed properly, and it was a bigger hazard not to have the handrail than it was to leave it up. Somebody could have fallen off and seriously got hurt. I got hurt. It's fairly minor as far as minor goes. As injuries go, it could have been a lot worse. I was actually falling down with the stairs, and our stairs are brick, and they aren't high quality brick, so 14 years of erosion or 13 years of erosion have made these bricks super duper sharp. I cannot tell you how many times I have scratched the sides of my foot, the back of my ankle on these silly stairs. Because they are so sharp.
They're construction grade bricks, so they're not...
They're the lowest grade of construction grade brick. It was cheap, so they suck. But anyway, as I'm falling down the stairs, I was able to turn my body, because wonderful falling happens in slow motion. If you've never fell, don't try it, obviously. But if you have fallen as an adult, you realize it is in slow motion. it feels more painfully slow than it is. And I know it's fast. I know a fall happens just like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I was able to turn my body and I was able to fall off the steps, which ended up saving me my ribs. Because if I had fell on those steps, I would have, one, I probably would have hit my head and done damage to my head. And then two, I would have probably broke the whole left side of my body. It possibly down to my hips, and my ribs for sure would have been broken because I fell on the steps. And when I went to the doctor, she even agreed. She says, when I told her what happened, she's like, you're lucky you were able to turn yourself because you would have been in bigger trouble had you actually fallen on the steps. So it was good. But
now, mind you, I'm out in the field with a bunch of Marines, so I can't get away when all this is going on, when she calls me and tells me what's happening.
I fell with little Doc, and he's fairly okay too. As of today, I believe that he has fractured his leg. Not necessarily going to take him to the vet because I know pretty much what to do. It's not a complete break, just like I broke my foot, but it's a fracture as well. It's not a complete break. They are still extremely painful, but you can walk on them, you can use them. He just, when you touch that leg, he yelps. So I haven't decided if it's an actual fracture or if he's just right now associating with pain because it was so painful to fall with him with that. He's eating, he's drinking, he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. He's in a pen. We have a puppy pen, so he is secluded from the rest. For the most part, we put London in there with him, so he has some company sometimes.
Yeah, he's got his mama.
She doesn't always want to be in the pen, so she comes out. But she's, loving on him and cuddling him and doing everything that she feels she needs to do for him. And it keeps him away from the other puppies.
Yeah.
So it's been a crazy, crazy day. When I fell, I cracked the base of my big toe, fractured it. It's extremely painful. I have broken a toe. It's funny because when I broke a toe a few years ago, like 9 years ago, I didn't break it by any chance of what I had done. I was breaking up a fight between kindergartners at a bus stop because I was the only parent. Well, there was one other parent, but they did nothing. I was the only parent standing at the bus stop, and these two kids are fighting. That is not cool in my book.
No.
I stepped in and broke it up. I got a broken toe.
Yeah, little kindergartner stomped her foot.
Broke my pinky toe because I was wearing flip-flops, because I love flip-flops. They're not very good foot care. And that was a complete breakthrough. That one really hurt. So when I hit my foot, adrenaline kept me from feeling pain because I was so concerned and so antsy over Doc. So I got Doc squared away, and we went and got him some baby aspirin, which my breeder told me how to divide that up so that it would be safe for him and how often to give it. So he gets pain medicine. I've gotten it down to where instead of every 6 hours, I give it to him once a day. Because he's pretty secure in where he's at and nothing's going to happen. So he just is forced to rest, which is good. It's what he needs. It's what I need. Unfortunately, I'm not getting as much rest as I should. And I am not wearing my boot at the moment because it weighs 3 pounds, and I wore it all morning. And we went walking this morning, which I'll explain more about that in a little bit. And my legs are just tired. So as long as I've got my foot up and protected away from the dogs so that they don't step on the top of my foot, I'm okay. I can manage the pain. So it was quite an event. And
so that was the down.
Yeah, that was the down.
Now,
the high includes the cups.
The ups include the cups.
Yeah, I went to...
And for those of you that don't follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, I went to the doctor on Thursday. And it was so funny because when I called to be and I fell on Wednesday. By Wednesday night, I was positive I broke my foot. I looked at him and said, I broke this. I didn't think it was I knew it wasn't a complete break, but I was having trouble bending my big toe. I could bend it some, but it was painful. And there was bruising at that point, and it was just extreme. I mean, you just rubbed your hand down my foot, and I was like, That hurts, and it's still extremely tender that way. It doesn't take much. I mean, you could just light this touch, and it hurts. Putting on a sock hurts. It shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. So I go to my doctor, and I made my appointment. The only appointment they had, because I didn't want to go and sit in the ER for 4 hours, was for 3:40. And the lady's like, well, why do you need to see the doctor? I said, I'm pretty sure I broke my foot, and I need it confirmed. She's like, you can go to urgent care or the ER. And I said, no, it's okay. There's not much. I know there's not much that can be done for it. I just want to get it confirmed, and I've got it resting, and I'm icing and all that kind of stuff. And she's like, all right, are you sure? And I was like, yes, just I'll take the 3:40 appointment. And my doctor, when I don't call ahead and schedule it, my doctor kind of gets nervous when I come in because I am such a good patient, and I follow all of her directions, and I never have an issue now that we're getting my health back on track, and we're able to figure out what was some issues that we were having when I got diagnosed a year and a half ago with diabetes, which I have reversed. So she was like, when she saw that it was me, I guess that I popped up on the appointment, she said, oh no, what happened? She was so worried I'd really done something serious. And I did do something serious, but it could have been a lot worse. So she was concerned. So we go in, and she just hooked me up.
Well, first thing she did, she walks in and she goes, you look amazing.
Yeah, because I've lost 75 pounds, and I'm getting a little bit lower than that now, but I can go into that later.
Yeah.
And, you know, as soon as she saw my foot, she knew. Which, of course, by this point, she had already known anyway, because they had done the workup. I had to do a drug test because she wanted to give me a controlled substance for the pain. And in order to do that, you have to test clean so that they know this is the clinic I go to, their policy. They want to make sure you're not drug shopping, which I would never do. But it's still standard procedure. It has to be done. They have to be able to verify that, yes, there's the drug test, and yes, there's the prescription. They can't just give you the prescription.
Right.
And while I was there, she did, they always do it. It happens every single time. They check my blood sugar. And it was, of course, awesome. It was 77. And she decided to do an A1C test because it had been a while since I had one. That came back really good. I'm still borderline. I'm right there on the line between normal and prediabetes. So I'm sure, it's one of those things where I have to watch and I have to be careful, but I do not have diabetes.
You don't have to sweat if your blood sugar goes wonky.
I don't usually get spikes. Usually when I get a spike, it's related to something else. So that was good. So we're going we get everything done. She gives me the air boot, and we go to fill the prescription at base. And we're coming out, and of course, I'm feeling like a total goober because I have crutches and an air boot, and I hate crutches. I can't walk on them.
No, she can't. She has no coordination. Coordination for the crutches. None.
I do much better now on the crutches since I've lost 75 pounds. They are much easier to maneuver.
But still,
and I get a phone call. It's a phone call from Walmart wanting to do an interview Friday morning. And out of all the positions I applied for, they pulled me for a cake decorator. Just because that's the position they had filled. So, of course, I said yes. So Friday, I sucked it up. Went to the interview without the boot on. The interview went well. I was extremely nervous. Walmart's not my first pick of a place where I'd want to work. Great place to shop. But it came across in the interview that basically they want a warm body who is going to listen to what they tell you to do, help the customers courteously, but they don't care about skill or anything, and they don't care about personality. It really boils down to you better answer right on the questions. And they tell you there's no right or wrong answer, and there's really not a right or wrong answer, but you can tell from certain kind of answers, if that would be a person who's going to follow the rules.
Yeah.
So I went through 2 interviews yesterday, and I walked out, and he says, well, I'm going to go ahead and key you into the computer, which means I got the job tentatively, of course. Excuse me. Depending upon contacting references and background checks. I was like, oh, that's cool. I walked out going, well, I'm excited. I'm going to be a cake decorator and I have a job. That's a good thing. But I was like, at the same time, I was going, but I really don't want to work at Walmart. They were going to hire me as a actual cake decorator at $7.25 an hour, which is our minimum wage in the state of North Carolina. Not a lot of money.
Nope.
So I walk out of there going, okay, what are all the benefits? The benefits are in 90 days I can work up to full-time. But I really didn't want to work full-time, but I could work up to full-time. And I knew that I would get a pay raise after 90 days, a little bit of a pay raise. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And I said, well, at least it'll be fun to decorate cakes. And as I kept telling everybody when I got the job that I talked to, well, I'm really excited about this. And, I was really trying to sell myself on the job. And then last night, we had to go pick up some stuff for today, which I'll talk about in a moment. And we're on the way to Michael's to pick up the things that we needed. And the phone rings. It's Lowe's Foods.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it. So they called me back finally.
And this was after we had gone to Lowe's Foods to do some shopping.
Yeah. And I was so excited, so relieved. I start work tomorrow. So unfortunately, Monday or Tuesday, I have to turn down Walmart.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I am not going to be decorating cakes at Lowe's Foods yet. But I am positive I will be decorating cakes at Lowe's Foods within 6 months.
Yeah.
If not sooner.
Yeah.
A year at the maximum latest. Because I know that the lady that interviewed me was excited that I do cakes. And they are hiring for a cake decorator. And it may be something where they'll be able to just switch me into the position rather quickly. I know I have to prove myself as a good worker first, but Lowe's Foods hires from within. So I will get the first pick. Not necessarily the first pick, but anyone who's working would be the first choice before they hire out.
Right,
which is awesome.
Lowe's Foods their policy is to hire from within first and then go outside.
Now, they have very, very limited full-time positions. Usually those are reserved for management, which is fine. I'm happy with full-time. But
with part-time.
part-time. But as a bakery clerk, I'm going to be making $8.50 an hour. That's $1.25 an hour over minimum wage. It was a no-brainer which job I was going to pick. And I think that Lowe's Foods will be a better working environment. Yeah. Walmart's great. I'm not bashing Walmart, so please don't think that I am. But I am the type of person who I want to work with people that are very friendly. I want to work in as calm as a possible environment. I know that it's going to be busy. I know there's going to be chaos and stuff like that. It always happens. But let's face it, Walmart is an everything shop.
Yeah.
Everything shop. And our Walmarts are some of the busiest Walmarts out there because we live in a military town.
Yeah,
Lowe's
actually
Foods,
the Walmart that she got hired for is in the top 5 busiest Walmarts in the world.
Yeah.
So she would be
and the newer Walmart is it's up there in the top 5 too, I believe.
Yeah, if
it might
not,
be 6.
it's pretty close.
It might be within the top 10.
But when you've got 60,000 Marines camped out in your backyard, you're going to be busy.
So it would have been crazy busy. I was going to be expected to do 15 to 20 cakes a day by myself. That's a lot of cakes. Lowe's Food is I call it an upper scale. It's not an elite grocery store. It's not like a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods, which is elite. But it's an upper scale grocery store. They have better quality ingredients, not quite a Whole Foods, but they're not a Walmart or Kroger or a Piggly Wiggly or a Food Lion or an Albertsons, depending on where you're from, or Stater Brothers.
Publix.
Yeah, they're not one of those. They're an upper end grocery store. Their stuff is a little bit pricier, still affordable, but it's better quality. And they have some specialty stuff in their store, which I loved. So that won out for me too, because even though I'm going to have to work holidays, it's a grocery store. I know I'm going to have to work Thanksgiving, but I'm only going to have to work till 2. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Walmart, I would probably be working all day as a cake decorator. Now, their hours for cake decorators is really good, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And who knows, Lowe's Foods may be the same way with their cake decorators. I don't know. As a bakery clerk, I could be working up to midnight, which I'm okay with. I'll get to be a cake decorator. I am confident of that. The Lord is watching out for me. I will be a cake decorator. So I'm really excited to start my job tomorrow. I felt really bad yesterday when I got the call because I don't want to turn down Walmart, but today I'm okay with it. And I know that I made the right decision. And we go to a church with a gentleman who works at a different Walmart. He works at one here in town, but it was a different one than I was getting hired for. And he even came up to me and he goes, "You made the right call." He goes, "I know you're not doing cakes yet, but you made the right call." He goes, "You are going to get a lot better pay and a lot better cooperation with Lowe's Foods." Because apparently when Lowe's Foods opened up, a lot of people from Walmart jumped ship.
Yeah, they did. Better pay.
Those that stayed because they had full time, which is something they couldn't have gotten at Lowe's Foods.
Yeah, most of their part-time employees jumped ship and went over to Lowe's.
So I'm really excited. She called and I have to miss church. And it kind of breaks my heart because we're studying James and I love the book of James.
The funny thing was, Sarah and I had talked yesterday. She was psyching herself up for the Walmart job. And I said, if you don't hear from Lowe's today, you're going to have to take Walmart. I mean, there's just no way around it. And they called last night.
Yep.
It worked out perfectly.
God was so good. He was watching out for me. He knew that the background check was going to take a while, and I had told Matt and a couple other people, if Lowe's Foods doesn't contact me by Thursday, I'm going to need to start looking and start applying. So Thursday night, Walmart calls because he knew that I would start to panic.
Yeah.
Because she's
getting
his... I'm much better than I used to be because my faith has strengthened and grown, so I trust God. But I don't know if I would call it worry, but I get concerned.
Yeah.
I start, getting a little antsy, like, okay, and I start praying a whole lot more, going, okay, Lord, please, 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 help me. I'm not doing well.
Here I am wanting to get a new job, which I found the perfect one in our area, but I would have to move.
You can't afford to move.
Can't afford to move, so couldn't take that. Here I am looking for jobs, not getting any offers. She gets 2 in one day. Go figure.
Yep. But there's downsides
to both
jobs.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
I'm excited, but I'm not excited. It's retail, but I'm excited. It'll be
Lowe's
interesting.
Foods is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Y'all, we went in there last night because Sarah wanted to do some grocery shopping, pick up a few things.
Well, I wanted to pick up some stuff for dinner, and Maddie wanted cannolis, which our bakery sells at Lowe's.
Yeah.
So she wanted to go for cannolis, and we ended up just walking around and bought a whole bunch of stuff. I got $50 worth of meat for the freezer for free because it's their grand opening, so they had a lot of stuff was buy one, get one free. It was awesome.
Yeah, they had one. It was
exactly what I needed.
Chicken breasts.
Buy 2, get 3 free.
Yeah, buy 2 packages,
tenderloins.
get 3 packages free. Buy 1, get 1 free on ground beef.
Buy 1, get 1 free on pork chops. And they were the family pack. They were the big ones that had like 8 pork chops in them.
So we go in there and Maddie goes to the deli or to the bakery and wanted to get cannolis. And she bought one for me. And I had taken Maddie in there, was it Thursday night? Yeah, it was Thursday night because we had to go out. She needed some fabric paint for Spirit Week at school because it was homecoming week. So we stopped in there, and she had never been in Lowe's Foods, so I'm kind of showing her around. And so we went in there last night, and she said, "I'll buy you a cannoli." She said, "I'll buy you a cannoli."
I now know how to bribe my daughter.
Yeah, we now have bribe material.
Daddy, here's the cannoli.
So last night, she gets the cannoli, and we're walking around, and the Lowe's Foods where Sarah's going to work makes their own sausage. And Maddie happened to look up at the wall. They have a dry erase board. And they write their specials on the dry erase board at the sausage part. And it was 2 sausage sandwiches with peppers and onions. Maddie's like, for $5. Maddie's like, I'll buy you one. We'll get dinner because Mom's looking for something for her. So, we'll get something. And Emma was with our neighbor. They went
trunk or treating.
Yeah, trunk or treating. at a church, and so Maddie and I got sausage sandwiches and cannolis for dinner. But they've got a seafood counter. They've got the sausage. They've got deli. They've got the bakery. They've got craft beers. They got a whole section.
They call it the beer den. You can do taste testing.
Yeah, you can taste test beers that they have on tap. They'll sell them to you in like 32-ounce jugs, and it's a nice store. I mean, it's absolutely really amazing.
Really excited. It'll be good. It's going to be hard work. It's not always going to be fun. But the
everybody
people there is absolutely, they're amazing.
They're the friendliest people I've ever met at a grocery store.
Yeah, and I know part of that is because it's brand new, but I really think that the policy of Lowe's, because we went to another Lowe's Foods, and they were the same way.
And they've been open quite a while.
They were friendly. Maybe not as friendly, because I think they have more people floating around since the store's only been open a week and a half.
Yeah, a week and a half.
I think this Wednesday will be 2 weeks. So it's brand new, which is awesome. So, but everybody's so friendly and it's so nice in there. And it's just one of those things you go in.
It's got bright lighting.
It's a calming store to go into, and grocery stores are not always that way.
It's not like 300 people are at the deli trying to get your attention and, all of this. It's a really nice. I think you'll do well there.
I think so.
The atmosphere, the morale, all of it.
And that's important for me. I like to have a good atmosphere. It has to be positive. I don't want to say I'm easily influenced, because I'm not. But if you work in a negative environment, you adopt a negative attitude at some point. So it's important to have a fairly positive environment.
Hey. You gonna say hi?
On the podcast.
Stick your head in and say hi. You gotta get in on camera. No, you gotta get in.
Hi. There's our
So how do we bribe you? What do we bribe you with now?
Cannolis.
What?
No, there's not.
Because it's not loading.
What's wrong?
The internet. It's not.
She says something's wrong with the internet.
Okay, we'll check that in a little bit.
I don't think so, because I have Wi-Fi.
No.
I have Wi-Fi.
Well, we're recording live.
Life with teenagers.
The internet is
For those of you with younger children, that's what you get to look forward to. The important things in life are internet and cannoli.
Yeah. Well, we need to get moving on it. I've got one more thing to talk about in the apple orchard, and then we'll do our introduction.
Then we got to get moving.
I have discovered that I have food intolerances. I knew about some, but I have discovered that I have a few more. So this week I have started a candida diet, because I really think it's an overgrowth of yeast. And it's a candida diet, but it's an elimination diet at the same point. For the first 3 weeks, I'm allowed to have meat, non-starchy veggies, eggs, and Greek yogurt. I can have a little bit of hard cheese, which I think I'm lactose intolerant, because I had these beautiful mushroom caps that were stuffed with cheese for dinner last night. And I had a reaction. My tummy was very upset within a couple hours of eating it. So I think that might be a problem. So that one's on my need to checklist. I'm going to have some yogurt hopefully tomorrow, and I will see how that goes, which we have to start yogurt before long too. I got to make my own.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I had, because of the wedding and everything and just general stress and tasting wedding cake, I had bumped up a couple pounds, which is fairly normal. I seem to go on a little tiny bit of a roller coaster, a little up, a little down, depending on the day and if I get enough liquid and what I'm eating. So I was getting concerned because I had gained a little, like a pound or two more than I was comfortable with. And my blood sugar was getting a little higher than I was comfortable with. Not high at all. So don't think that it was a major issue. It really wasn't a major issue. It was just something that I monitor closely. So just for trends, if there's a slight upward trend, I start realizing that something is, I'm eating too much of something, or I'm having an intolerance or whatnot. It's time to evaluate. So I did that. But I have been on the really strict version of this elimination diet for 3 days. I've lost 5 pounds.
Yep.
I am eating something that is not reacting well with me. So it's not going to be fun. I'm going to be on this really strict diet for at least the next 12 weeks. I'm not quite in the full elimination phase. I'm in the kill off the candida phase. I can't have anything that is sugar, which I don't do a whole lot of anyway, but I can't have anything that turns into sugar or feeds sugar, like anything carby. So, and I don't eat a whole lot of carbs, but, you know, I was eating beans and sweet potatoes and stuff like that. I can't have any of that right now. And then I start the elimination diet, so I have to go in periods where I think the first 2 weeks of the elimination phase, I'm supposed to eliminate eggs. I will not be eliminating eggs. I already know that I do not have a reaction to eggs. So there's no point of me eliminating them to realize if I have an allergy. I do not have an allergy or intolerance to eggs. I eat eggs every single morning for breakfast. I'd know by now if I had a problem.
Yeah.
But I've cut out, right now I'm not even eating any fruit. No fruit, no berries. So we'll see. And my blood sugars have plummeted again. So I'm eating something that is bothering me.
I wonder if it's dairy.
I'm wondering, but I know for sure that I have a gluten intolerance and intolerance to grains. We will see. I may be one of those strange people that has to stay on an ultra low carb diet.
You could. You never know.
Or not eat, because I eat carby stuff like beans, not anything super carby, but I'll have like beans or fruit like 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe up to 5 or 6. I may get to the point where I have to keep those down to 1 or 2 times a week.
Yeah.
Just because you need healthy carbs for your body, but I can't process them. And obviously, this has been a long time issue because I've been really sick. And I was cued on to candida because diabetes, it can be directly related to candida. And also some of the other symptoms that started popping up again were headaches, and I was just having some joint pain and some allergy type symptoms, and that wasn't right. So I know that I've changed my diet enough that I was eating something that was really reacting with me.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. And apparently I'm going to continue dropping weight fairly quickly on this diet. And I don't feel deprived, even though I'm extremely limited and I know that I can't eat out, but the food I'm eating is good. The one thing that is getting hard for me is I can't have chocolate for the next 12 weeks. That's going to get hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I do chocolate not every day, and I do I use cocoa powder, but I'm helped with sweet because I have my tea. They say you shouldn't drink a whole lot of tea.
Unless it's herbal.
Earl Grey is not herbal tea.
Nope.
But caffeine doesn't bother me, and caffeine doesn't directly feed sugar, so I'm allowing myself Earl Grey tea. And, you know, I put my stevia in there, and it helps with a sweet tooth, which I don't have that big of a sweet tooth anymore. Really don't. I've cut out sugar. I don't crave sugar, but every once in a while you want something that tastes sweet. So I'm doing pretty good. I can power through for 12 weeks. It is worth it for 12 weeks for me to figure out what I'm eating that is bothering me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a few welcomes to do.
Yeah, we had some new people join us.
And there's not much knitting, so y'all be happy that we've chatted on this long here real shortly.
If you're still
I promise.
even watching. If you're still even watching. After 37 minutes
Everybody
of
likes to
chatting.
know about our lives, too.
We had 4 people come and introduce themselves in the last week, which is really good. We're getting closer and closer to the 300 mark for our little prize drawing. So, oops, what happened? Oh. Sorry. Hit the screen.
You'll do your welcomes, and then I have a little bit of housekeeping we need to do.
We had My iDestiny, who is Tammy.
So welcome, Tammy.
Tanya Marie, who is Tanya.
Welcome, Tanya.
Brownie Knits, who is Gina.
Welcome.
Welcome. And Marge K.I., who is Marge.
Welcome.
Welcome to the group.
We're so glad you had us, and we had several people join the group this week too, which is awesome. I am so excited that y'all still love the podcast and enjoy the podcast.
And a couple of the new people, they just happened to find us.
Mm-hmm. We are sticking right now with only being on YouTube. It's what's easy for us.
Yeah.
And I did want to let you know that with the job means the podcast will change some. I don't know how at this point, But if you want to be kept up with the latest news, please come and join the Ravelry group, because if I have to switch, or if we have to switch to recording every 2 weeks, that's where you're going to find the information. The days may have to change. I don't know. Right now it's kind of cloudy and we're doing okay with this lighting. I don't know how we would do if it was full dark outside, but we're just going to kind of have to roll with it and see how it goes with my job. Once I get in and prove that I'm a good worker, I will have a fairly regular schedule unless somebody calls in sick.
Right.
But because I'm going to be the bottom of the totem pole, I'm going to get the hours that nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to work hard to prove that I'm a good worker, which is fine. I know that going in.
The newbie gets the short end of the stick.
So the podcast will change a little bit, but we are committed to still continuing to do the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
They may end up getting
we enjoy
shorter.
Doing it. We enjoy doing it.
We do. They may end up getting shorter. They may change days. They may go to every 2 weeks, depending on content.
Yeah,
because we don't have a whole lot of content this week. But I just wanted to do that. So let's go ahead and go into our apple pickin' party.
Yeah.
Put my cup down. We are still doing our Martina Beam along. So there's still plenty of time. There's 2 months to do. And I might consider casting on another one. But I did finish my lentilla. I haven't woven in my ends. It's blocked. But I block and then I weave in ends. That's my goal tonight. So I finished my lentilla. I'll put it on. And before I forget, I will show what I'm wearing. I am wearing my Caledonian Forest cowl. So there's that. Let me turn it around this way because this way shows a pattern. Repeat. And that's showing up pretty true to color. It's a color called Rum Raisin, which goes well with my purplish sweater. So there is
the lentilla.
The lentilla. And I like it. It's definitely, if I had had more yarn, I could have made it a little bit longer. Like I think hers used like 40 or 30 something points. I didn't get that long. But she used Woolamize, which is 150 grams gain, and I used 100 grams gain. And I used pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
But
that's the strawberry milk one, right?
Yeah. This is the Kitchen Sink Dye Works that translates to strawberry milk. It's like,
Don't even try.
I can't even say it.
It's French.
Yeah. But it might be Spain.
It's French. I looked it up.
So it means it's strawberry milk. So I love this. And of course, now that I've lost 75 plus pounds, I feel like I can wear stuff because I feel like my face isn't as large. Well, it's not as large. So I feel like I can wear accessories. And I'm enjoying that because accessories are so fun to knit. And I love being able to knit them and not just have them stick in a drawer. I love being able to wear them. So that counts as one of my FOs.
And she had a decision on her hair.
I have decided I love my hair so much this way. I'm going to let it grow just a little bit longer, but I'm going to keep it short. I love the convenience of it. It's wonderful. And I get compliments all the time. My doctor even said, and that was the first time she had seen me, she's all, I love your hair. It really suits you. And even the lady that was negative, it liked my hair. So that was wonderful. And I got a compliment on it today. You know, I was talking with the lady. She just said, I've wanted to tell you for a while, I love your hair. So
she looks like the lady from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Watch that.
Yeah.
It's about that length. The lady from The Walking Dead.
Hers is a little bit longer. She's got a little bit more length, and I think I'm going to go for a length similar to hers. So that.
Well, now you have a goal.
Yeah, but I love it. I love getting out of the shower, and I just pat my hair dry, and then I put on a moisturizing oil blend, which is baobab oil, and I put in this skincare blend of essential oils that's got cucumber seeds and lavender and stuff that's good for it's nourishing for your scalp. So I rub that on, and then I kind of I use a brush, but I don't at the same time. It just kind of get everything, just rub it lightly into where it's long enough now that you're seeing where my natural part is. So I make sure that it goes the way that my natural part goes, so it's not looking crazy and funky.
Yeah.
But that's it.
So the Martina Beam Along goes till, now that we'll go back to that trail, after we rabbit trail, It goes till the end
December
of the year.
31st.
The end of the year.
And we have a couple that have already finished, and their projects look wonderful.
Yes, they do. They look
We
awesome.
have a minimum of 3 prizes. We have a shaw pin.
Yep.
We're going to do a project bag.
Yep.
And then Desi Loop, SSK of Desi Loop, has donated a hat pattern called Happily Ever After Beanie.
Yep.
So
The Happily Ever After beanie will be
that's
given
wonderful.
away.
And if there's plenty of people that enter, we
may
will
throw
do
in some other
buttons too.
stuff. Yeah,
So,
we'll throw in some other
yeah.
stuff.
All right. Moving on to
Which one do you want to do?
finish in the apple basket.
The finished objects.
Finish.
Yeah.
I have one.
I'm going to sit back and get comfortable because I have nothing. I'm close. I'm close to a half
I have
object.
one. Yeah.
And for right now, with her foot in a boot, it could technically be a finished object, but she
Not
told me
finished.
no. Yeah, I got to do both. So.
I finished my monster kerfuffle socks, and as you can see, I have decided I'm just going to leave them, even though they don't match.
That orange looks awesome.
I know. And I wanted to wear these, but I couldn't wear them until I showed them on the podcast. So I'm really excited. So there's my monster kerfuffle socks, and this is Gnome Acres Monster Kerfuffle, and it's in her sparkly base, and I love it.
It's got orange and purple and aqua.
Yeah, I love them.
It's weird how
I can't wait to
the
wear them.
tension
And I did the
between the
fish
two-
lips kiss heel on both of these.
the tension between the two was different, which is why one pooled and one striped.
Yeah. I
And
was
I'm
a lot.
surprised with
I was
your
a lot more
OCD.
relaxed with this one,
I'm surprised
and
with
I'm
your
a little
OCD,
bit more stressed.
you didn't.
And then
rip
once
the one
I
out.
saw, because I had done about this much of my foot, and I'm like, oh, if I keep my tension tighter, it'll continue to spiral. So after that, I was
And it
conscious.
did. It's not a stripe. It's
a nice
actually
spiral.
angled, so it kind of spirals down. Barbara
Yeah.
pulls the sock.
Awesome. Well, that's that. I will go ahead and I will share this here since it's November 1st.
Yes, happy All Saints Day.
I did my pick your own sock club choice. And this will be my choice for November. But I have to finish October socks first. But I wanted to go ahead and choose.
October. It's in a month.
I've gotten a
You
lot
can do
done,
a pair of
but I
socks in
didn't.
like 4 hours.
We've been so
Speed meter.
crazy that I haven't had a chance to do that. So
Yeah. So the way she did it, she had Emma pick a bunch of sock yarns and put them in paper bags.
and I went in, and I will admit I'm usually pretty bad. I peek in the bag, and if I don't like it, I put it back and pull another one.
Yeah, she cheats. instead of just randomly drawing one,
Well,
she'll go and
I randomly.
no, I don't like that one.
No, that's
No,
not how I do it.
I don't want to do that one.
Stop it. That's not how I do it. I randomly pick a bag and peek, and if I don't like it, I put it back and randomly pick a bag.
That's what I was saying.
So
I don't
this
like
was-
that one. Oh, I'm going to do this one. No, wait, I don't like that one either.
So this
That
was
was not pretty enough.
So this one was this first one I picked. I didn't actually put it back. All right. Well, let's go
But only
into.
she knows that because she was the only one in the room when she picked. So she could have gone through 6
I'm not-
bags and nobody knows.
Stop! I'm gonna hurt you.
Whereas me, I just pull the drawer open because I have a drawer in my dresser that
We
is
need
my
to move
stash.
on. Come on, come on, come on,
That's
come
my
on,
stash.
come on.
She's got a whole thing over here.
Blooming apples.
Yes.
Do you want to start?
I do. I have 2.
I have two too. So
I have 2. This one is almost half done. It's almost a half object. It's my Miami sock, which I'm loving these colors, but I promised Sarah I would make them for her. So it is Wisdom Yarns Miami sock, and it's all these different shades of blues and greens and
the colorway is called Everglades.
yeah. So I'm on the toe decreases now, and Sarah's going to do an afterthought heel. She's not going to make me do it.
Nope.
So that's my first one, and I figured I had so much fun knitting the sock head, and Maddie absolutely. I don't think she's taken it off. Okay. Here we go.
So
Maddie hasn't taken off her sock head hat since I gave it to her, because she is all about the slouchy hats. She was even wearing it when she stuck her head in here. I decided to do another one for her, and I let her pick which sock yarn I had in my drawer, and she chose.
it's bright red.
It's like insanely bright red with little black transition, red to dark red to black, and I got itch. And it's wisdom. Is it wisdom?
It is wisdom's yarn.
It's
It's called Naked Sock. It's a wool-free sock. It's PBT and nylon, and it's stretchy.
Oh, it's insanely stretchy.
But it's soft too.
But I've got just a few. This yarn is like all tangled. It's from being in my project bag. But there we go. Now I'm back on screen. I only have like just a few rows of the, I don't know, brim. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm thinking cuff, but I know it's not cuff for a hat. So that's what I've got.
Cuff.
It is kind of a cuff.
I still my yarn. I still need to fix this. It fell off the needles earlier. I am working on my October sock, which is
is funny. Funny story about her October socks. We go to the doctor the other day. I take my knitting because I want to work on Miami. And I'm sitting there. She's at the counter checking in at the doctor's. I pulled my stuff.
I did a rookie mistake.
I did the hook on the belt so that my bag's hanging and I'm knitting. I'm going crazy. She comes over, sits down, pulls out her knitting and goes, uh-oh. And I look over and go, what?
I had the sock.
Yes, she did.
I had the skinny yarn.
Yes, she did.
I had my project bag.
Yes, she did.
I had no needles.
No, she didn't. She said, I can't knit. I said, why not? She said, I have no needles. She grabbed the bag and said, let's go.
And I
but didn't check
what happened
for needles.
is I used them for a different project because I needed them real quick. And instead of putting them back in the project bag like I normally do,
They
I
sat on the
didn't.
table.
And so it was one of those things where, I need to work on my October socks. Here they are. Let's go. But I didn't. So I did cast on my second sock, and that's as far as I got.
You do about 1x1 rib?
This one it's a twisted rib.
Twisted rib?
It's like my favorite way to do it.
I'm going to try that on the next pair of socks.
I like 2x2 too, but I like twisted
I do
rib.
too, but it gets boring after a while.
I can fly through twisted
And with
rib.
the sock head hat being, 3 or 4 inches of it,
Yeah.
that's a lot of 2x2 rib.
This next project is going to be...
Long term?
It is long term. It's my crocheted blanket. But this also goes into apple candy. So this is a slight... we're transitioning now into apple candy. Not officially, but transitioning. I am working on my sock yarn blanket. And I just started... Where's this section? I think this is it. I just started. I have not even a whole round done of color number 3. So color number 3, I'm using Poems Sock. And this is color 957, which I still need to put on my project page, the 3rd skein. So that maybe it's already up on my project page.
I don't know.
I think so. And I picked it because it has this really pretty orange. James has won over Dancing Geek. I am using more orange. He is a huge influence. I have an orange cup. I have orange socks. And now I'm going to have orange
And
in
you
this
were
blanket
wearing
too.
a sweater that had burnt orange on it.
I did. On Thursday, I was wearing a sweater with orange.
So, James, you're winning 3-0.
I don't like orange. I'm drawn to orange. So this is transitions to apple candy because
You're
I haven't
making a
even
convert.
I
to the
haven't
orange
even
side.
finished one round.
Oh, and by
most
the
of
way,
it.
Maddie can relax. The internet works again. Because teenagers.
Yeah. So
In our house, that's the excuse for
it is
everything.
getting big. So I've done 1, 2, and I'm on the first
Yeah,
one is one
it's
skein
down
and
there
then
at the
2,
bottom.
and then I didn't even complete one whole round. But I took it with me to church today, which we forgot to talk about. We had an outreach today, and I was leading a team of making cocoa. We had to deliver it, so I walked around the neighborhood in my boot.
Which is why her leg hurts.
Yeah,
Right now.
which is why the
Not so
boot
much
is
her
not.
foot.
It's
her
not my leg. That boot is like 3 pounds. It's heavy. My calves.
Yeah, walk around with 3 to 5 pounds on your leg all day long.
Yeah. But I got lots of compliments on this blanket. Everybody said it was beautiful. All right, now we will officially move into apple candy, which I have some.
The poem sock was one of them.
The poem sock was
that
one of them.
And that was a congratulatory thing for
Yeah.
getting the job interviews.
Matt's going to pick me up another 1 or 2 of this next thing that I show you. I used to work, when we first moved here, I made hand-painted items. I did toll painting and made some other items. And I worked under the table in a condo company called All Fired Up, and she made purses. It's a military company. And her stuff is called Jane Wayne Gear. And I loved her stuff. I've loved her stuff for
Ever.
9-10 years now.
Yeah.
I could never afford it. They used to sell it at the exchange, and I think that's where this came from. But they had a whole bunch of Jane Wayne gear, brand new with tags on it and everything, at the Salvation Army.
For almost nothing.
Pennies. I got a new tote bag.
Now I'm going to say it, it's a $58 bag.
Yeah. And it had a little clutch in it, which my clutch is over there. But I'm like, this is a perfect project bag. And here's the inside.
But it was $58 for like
$10.
$10.
Brand new $10.
So she goes to the Salvation Army yesterday, and
I
gets
scored
scores of stuff.
I got a T-shirt. I got a $30 T-shirt for $6. I got the bag for $10, which it had the clutch in it. I didn't even realize the clutch was in it until I got home. Now the clutch is really cute. I'll probably on the next one I'll use it for keeping like stitch markers and stuff in. There's no pockets in it, but that one's I'm gonna throw. I will use the clutch as the actual clutch when I want to put it in a project bag or I want to make a quick run to town. I can throw my wallet, my keys, and my phone in the clutch, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
So I got that, and
you got
I
a sweatshirt,
it.
and she got a
and
sweatshirt.
I got a sweatshirt for like $12.
Which the sweatshirt was $12. I think he only charged us $10 because he charged us $26 for all this stuff.
Yeah. So he's gonna go pick me up another one of these probably tomorrow.
And it's Navy.
Yes, because I'm a retired Navy wife.
Yes.
So I am so excited to have one of these bags. Now I don't know if she still makes them. She moved to Virginia. She may still make them. I think this was in the commissary or in the exchange, and I think the exchange stopped carrying it, so they donated it to the Salvation Army. It's all brand new.
Yeah.
I love it.
All brand new. Yeah, and
Which base does that? They do that with their food. They do that with their stuff if they're getting rid of stuff because they buy it from the suppliers, and then if they decide not to carry it anymore, they have to get rid of it. And if they put it on sale and it still doesn't sell, then I think they donate it. Because we have a friend from church who got a ton of hams that were frozen. They were frozen, but they were frozen because the expiration date was coming, and they still tried to sell them. And he must have gotten like 300 pounds of hams donated, already frozen, came and put them in the freezer at church, and we were able to take hams and stuff like that.
3 or 4 of them.
So, all good, because of course you can freeze stuff even right up to the expiration date, and it's still good for 6 months.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
So we had ham.
Yeah,
like
and then
crazy ham.
The other thing I got is when we went to Michael's last night, I saw this yarn there a couple times, and it's so soft and so squishy.
Which you wouldn't think.
No.
I mean,
it's loops and threads. It's called wool-like, and it's a fingering weight yarn. Actually, I think for a sweater, I would only need 3 of these. The skein was $3. I'm going back as soon as I get paid, and I'm buying a sweater a lot. There's 600
for $3 a skein. Go for it.
Yeah, it's like $9 a sweater, and it feels really, really good. I don't have a problem with acrylic, but it has to be a nice acrylic.
Yeah,
this
it can't
is
be
678 yards. It's 85% acrylic, 15% nylon. So you can use it for socks because the nylon's in there. And I know a lot of people have issues. So it's called wool-like.
You got it upside down.
I've got it upside down. I'm challenged today.
You know, I'm not going to force our viewers to watch upside down.
It's not wanting to focus. It's called Teal Lake. So I'm really excited because I need to start my mittens because I want to do the mitten along or fingerless mitts or whatever with little bobbins with Danny. So this is what this is for. And I wanted to try it because $3 for skeiny yarn is uber, uber cheap. And this feels really good.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because it was $3 yarn. I'm saying it really feels good. Like I could have it up on my face and just... it's squishy. It's not cashmere soft, but it is.
It is for being
really, really soft.
Like low end cost wise yarn.
Yeah.
It's really soft.
Really, really soft. So if you see this, do not hesitate to spend the money and pick it up. It's awesome. And the other thing I got is I got 2 skeins of this.
And I didn't smell it. And I didn't smell it.
I didn't.
I'm not
I only smell wool.
Is that wool?
This is some wool in it.
I'm gonna smell it.
But it's probably too processed. It's 80% acrylic, 20%. So then I picked up because I want to do the Gap-tastic cowl. And I remembered it was chunky yarn, but I picked up the wrong skeins. Now I've got 2 skeins, and I may still do the Gaptastic count of Wool Ease Thick and Quick. I was supposed to get Wool Ease Chunky. So I have 2 skeins of this, and it's in the colorway Raspberry. So now I've got to figure out something to do with 200 and something yards of super chunky yarn.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go back and get more, because this is $8 a skein. That was, for cheap yarn, that was a little pricey for me.
Yeah, a little bit.
But that's all we really have for you.
We watched some new podcasts.
We did. I watched
I
forgot to
Yarnder Woman,
Yep.
which was really cool. She's from Perth.
Baba Knits.
She's from Perth, Australia.
Yep. I watched Baba Knits this week, and she's wonderful.
I haven't seen that.
It was her first podcast. She did very, very well for her first
I haven't seen
podcast.
that
She's
one.
in England. What else did we watch?
Who else did we watch? I'm trying to think. Because we watch all our podcasts in the evening. I know I watched.
I'm good. I feel like I'm going
I
to
watched-
fall behind by working. I won't be able to watch all of them.
We watched Sort of a Knitter. We watched Professor Josh, Auricula 82.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Minerva Turkey.
I still have a few to watch. We're
We're
getting
trying
behind.
to catch up because Thursday night and Friday night is our typical night for getting caught up on all our podcasts. Well, Thursday was busy. Friday was busy. So here it is, Saturday. We're trying to catch up.
Yeah. But we need to go ahead and wrap this up because I've got 20 minutes before I have to start yogurt and I need to start dinner. And we've got to edit, and this will
Actually,
probably...
you were supposed to start 6 minutes ago.
All right. So
we're at an hour with 10 minutes
Lots
of
of
knitting
chatter.
content. And
Hopefully there'll be more knitting content next week. If we get to record next week, I just need to get through this week.
personal
and see how
goal
it
for
goes.
me is to finish this sock and get halfway through the next one
Mine
by
is to finish this song.
by next podcast, if not farther.
Yeah.
As I'm wearing my cool bankhead hat.
Let's go ahead and say bye for now.
Happy crafting. Have a good week, y'all. Come over
See
to the
you
group.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.